Spooktober's here, and with every dusk, Eerie Instants unveils a new tale. 31 days, 31 stories. Hit subscribe and journey into the unknown with us. I had always craved the anonymity that a bustling city provided. The chance to be a face in the crowd, invisible and unobserved. So, when I finally got the keys to my high-rise apartment, it felt like a dream. The panoramic view of the sprawling cityscape filled me with hope. Fresh starts weren't just cliches, they were necessary, a reprieve from haunting memories. Unpacking, the world outside my window moved at its frenetic pace, each individual on their path, oblivious to the rest. I cherished the idea of being just another person in this vast mosaic. But as hours melted into the late afternoon, a nagging feeling took root. I tried shaking off the sense of being watched. It was ridiculous. I was several stories up in a building where I knew no one. But every time I looked out, my eyes were invariably drawn to a window from the neighboring high-rise. Directly opposite mine, darkened, like a void amidst the illuminated windows around it. Trying to distract myself, I continued unpacking. The silence of the apartment was punctuated only by the rustling of the boxes and the distant city noises. It was during one such moment of quiet that I found it. A photograph, old and slightly faded, placed neatly at my doorway. It was me, probably around 7 or 8, right outside this very building. My younger self stared back, wide-eyed and innocent. The background, unmistakably the entrance of my new residence. My heart raced. How? I didn't grow up here. I didn't even know this place existed until a month ago. The memory of the dark window returned, amplifying my unease. Thoughts raced, but none made sense. Maybe it was some twisted joke, or perhaps I wasn't as anonymous as I'd believed. Night settled like a thick blanket, and the city lights played their mesmerizing dance. I tried to shake off the day's oddities, convincing myself it was fatigue. A hot shower and the comfort of bed seemed like the best remedy. But sleep didn't come easily. The discovery of the photograph weighed heavily on my mind. The hum of the city outside, which earlier brought comfort, now sounded like hushed whispers, sharing secrets I wasn't privy to. I lay in the dimly lit room, the city's glow casting feeble patterns on my ceiling. Every so often, my gaze would involuntarily dart to the window. The pull was irresistible. Each time, the window opposite remained an unwavering patch of darkness. I felt exposed, like a fish in a bowl, every move on display. Pulling the curtains closed, I tried to find solace in the darkness of my room. As the first hints of slumber began to pull at me, a soft, distant sound echoed through the night, the unmistakable click of a camera shutter. It was going to be a long night. The sun's first rays broke through the dense urban horizon, casting a soft glow over the city and momentarily masking the weight of the previous night's unease. I pushed myself out of bed, the remnants of restless dreams still clinging to me. Every sound from the night before, every whisper of a movement had been amplified in the vast quiet of my new apartment. But that camera shutter sound, that was unmistakably real. While I attempted a morning routine, the knock on the door stopped me cold. No one knew I had moved here. Who could possibly be at my door? Cautiously, I opened it. A figure, their features hidden in the shadows of the corridor, extended a hand, offering a stack of worn photographs. "Thought you'd want these." The voice was emotionless, distant. "Who are you?" I managed to ask, my voice betraying the calm I tried to project. But the figure turned away without a word. retreating back into the dimness of the hallway. Confused, and with trembling hands, I sifted through the photos. Each one was a snapshot of my past, from innocent moments of childhood play to discreet shots taken from afar during recent times. And as the last picture slipped from the stack, a note fluttered to the floor. "I've always been watching." Fear gripped me. Someone had been tracking me, observing my every move. How did they know I was here? How did they get these photos? Determined not to feel vulnerable in my own home, I decided to take action. I scoured online stores, quickly ordering surveillance cameras. Within hours, a package arrived at my door, and I wasted no time setting up the devices around the apartment. No corner was left unwatched. As night once again enveloped the city, I settled in front of my computer monitor, eyes darting between the multiple feeds, searching for any sign of the mysterious observer. Hours passed, the city outside becoming quieter, my surroundings deepening in darkness and silence. And then it happened. On the feed from the living room camera, the locked front door eased open. A shadowy figure slipped inside. My heart raced, the cold grip of terror making it hard to breathe. The silhouette moved silently, stealthily entering my bedroom. On the screen, I could see my own sleeping form, and the figure just stood there, watching, observing. But the most chilling realization hit me as the intruder finally turned toward one of the cameras. The figure bore a haunting resemblance to me. The same height, the same build. It was as if I was watching myself. The lines between reality and nightmare blurred. Suddenly, the lights outside began to flicker. One by one, buildings around me plunged into darkness. An unexpected citywide power outage. The screens went black. My apartment was now steeped in an impenetrable darkness, save for the distant city sounds. But over that, another sound emerged, the soft, slow creak of my bedroom door opening. I was no longer alone, and this time, there was no screen between me and my mysterious doppelganger. The pitch black of the apartment enveloped me. My heart thudded loudly in my ears, each beat echoing the mounting terror. The creak of the door grew louder, deliberate and ominous. The idea that someone, or rather, something that looked just like me, could be moving in the shadows was beyond comprehension. Yet here I was, faced with a reality I couldn't deny. I held my breath, praying that the intruder wouldn't detect my presence. But in the cold silence of the night, even the softest exhale felt like a scream. The creaking stopped. Silence reigned. For a moment, I dared hope that perhaps it had left. But then, the whisper came, fragmented and chilling. "Why are you hiding from yourself?" My mind raced. This wasn't possible. How could this entity know my innermost fears? How could it throw the very essence of my being back at me? Feeling around for anything that could serve as a weapon. Not ideal, but it would have to do. Taking a deep breath, I mustered the courage to confront this apparition. "Who are you?" I whispered, my voice shaking. A chuckle echoed through the dark. "I am you. Or perhaps you are me." This riddle, this haunting game of mirrors, was driving me to the edge of sanity. I lunged in the direction of the voice, my pen ready to strike. But my hand met nothing but cold air. A gust of wind from the open window sent the curtains billowing, briefly illuminating the room in a soft, ethereal glow. And for a fleeting moment, I saw it, my doppelganger, standing there, mirroring my very stance. Our eyes met, and I felt a deep, paralyzing connection. A flood of memories, both known and unknown, rushed through me. Moments from my childhood. The sensation of being watched, the paranoia, the fear it was all connected. As the realization dawned, my doppelganger began to dissolve into the shadows, leaving me alone in the chilling darkness. Remember, its voice echoed one last time. You can run from everyone, but you can never run from yourself. The power surged back, and the lights flickered to life, revealing an empty room. The weight of the encounter pressed heavily on me. Who was the real observer? Was it this entity, or was it the part of me I'd been running from? The sun began to rise, casting the city in a warm golden hue. But for me, the darkness would never truly lift.